Good morning, it's Friday, Gorringes are on view, this time for two sales. We've got our major summer seasonal quarterly sale, and as well as that, the regular Monday weekly sale. And Sally's done some lovely flowers, there they are, look at those, these are like splendid looking things, aren't they? So we've got a whole mixture to show today. Not going to spend too long on the weekly sale because we see that every week. We'll go and have a look upstairs. But while I'm here, this has caught my eye. Rather nice sort of Regency mahogany chiffonnier. That's lot 2,000 and it's ended up modest £300 to £400 estimate. That's got to be a bargain if it goes that cheaply. All those chiffoniers aren't quite what they used to be. Moving through, also these catch my eye. These are in a bit more money. These terracotta figures, very much in the manner of gold Chider. And those are in at £1,200 to £1,500 in the weekly sale, please note. Weekly sale has some good things in it, as always. So, running down, let's go and have a look through. Good morning, Darcy. Darcy looks very excited this morning. Yeah, there we go.
Come on.
Good. This has been much admired by the staff anyway. We all think it's a rather good thing. 1966, this centre table here. That's for lot number 1966, not the date. And nicely carved, a little bit tall, so it's got a sort of freestand in a hall, but good looking thing, in at £400 to £600, another attractive estimate. Then downwards, we've got, as ever, garden furniture, and we've got a nice double dome top bookcase over there, all sorts of bits and pieces, again in the smalls, with lots of Chinese and Asian works of art. In addition, we've got wines, we've got some nice carpets. Look at this one here, this lot 1958, the Isfahan rug here, in at 100 to 150 only, should make more than that. It's a nice old one, good dense weave. So all sorts of goodies in the weekly, but we're going upstairs now to look at the quarterly sale. So we've been getting this sale together, haven't we, Darcy, for the past 3 months, I suppose, since our last one. And as ever, it's all finally looking rather smart up here. It didn't look like this a week ago, but it's amazing what the boys can do when they put their minds to it and everybody gets busy. So we've got some interesting ceramics here. The usual selection of sort of early running through to near contemporary works. What stands out, the collection of Dr. Rice, who specialised in Rockingham, amongst other things. Derby we sold back in the spring. We've got his Rockingham collection this time, so amazing assortment of particularly figures. Animal figures was another one of his passions, so different animal figures, a lot of them domestic animals, but not entirely. This animal's rather excited today.
What are you doing?
And then on top of that, some amazing Rockingham plates, rather elaborate vases, the very rare plaques over the back there with the dog and the cat. And then down here, this three-tier stand, which is believed to have been made as a sample for the royal dinner service. So, really good collection, and English porcelain collectors will be very keen to look at that lot. Now, we've got some books as well. Philip's sort of selected the highlights of some of the books he's been dealing with over the past few months, including a very rare and interesting Psalter, which is, I'm wondering where it is. Here it is now. This is lot 34, and let's see if we can persuade it to open up. There we are. From memory, this dates to about 1630 or thereabouts, so it's a little frail. And look how finely done that is. Hand illuminated. So it's a rather special thing that. Once belonged to a daughter of Queen Victoria as well, so it has great provenance going right back to the sort of Augsburgs and that sort of era. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that to see how well it does. Other ancient and old objects vary. We've got some lovely old dominoes here, lot 57. Look at that, lovely set there. And these are in bone, so we don't have to worry about the ivory issue. That's lot 57, in with a snuff box at a modest 200 to 300. There's this fellow, the lion. Nutcracker, he's good. And if you want something else a bit more unusual, how about that? It's a whalebone sailor's fid for fixing one's nets and rope making, I suppose. That's lot 59 in at £150. So there's also a few Egyptian bits and pieces, all sorts. Dan's been very busy on his Asian works, and there's a whole selection here. Highlights of which include a fairly late piece, this highly splendiferous Inro in lacquer with Shibayama and carved ivory and what have you, lot 277, in at 3 to 5,000. Then he's got there's a sensor lurking about somewhere. I'll find it, no doubt. I'll come across it, tell you about it when I see it. So we've done the we've looked at the English porcelain there. In the miscellanea, what else catches my eye? Well, again, it's a sort of microcosm of the usual situation. Some interesting booze, some old Armagnac and cognacs and the like. Rather nice microscope in there. There we see it. That is lot number 84, cold pepper typing at £1,000. Nice size, that one. Ivories and bronzes, little run of miniature carriage clocks. There's been a lot of interest in those. There we see them. Porcelain dials, Champleve enamel as well, and a sort of almost Comme style decoration here. So lots of interest in those, with inquiries from literally as far as Australia about those. Down below, some interesting Iznik works of art, Middle Eastern works, including this Khorasan 13th century candlestick. I don't think we'd be making anything quite of that quality in the West at that date. Inlaid with silver and script. Estimate of 10 to 15,000. We shall see how it gets on. There are other less expensive items from that sort of group, including these rather nice, rather stylish looking rosewater sprinklers. And then down below we have a collection of cold painted bronzes by Bergman of Austria and similar. Little run of those, got a mixture, again usually proving to be rather popular. There's a barking dog. There's a lot of interest in this. We've had people phoning up from Turkey trying to buy it for cash, and we've been inundated with inquiries about this shawl, and it is a beautiful thing. So that's going to make some money, and it'll be interesting to see. It's interesting to how the Indian sort of flows into the sort of bota, which becomes the paisley pattern. So that is lot number 44, cashmere shawl, in at 5 to 800, but keep your eye on that one. I think it's going to fly. So that kind of sums up the variety we've got in the smalls, but hidden within that are more items. I'm just going to move that. That looks a bit uncomfortable hanging there. It's not going to move. I'll leave it like it is. We've got some luggage as well. There's some cases we'll spot later on. This is Goyard, sort of superior and more exclusive than Vuitton, or so I'm told. That's just for 6 pairs of shoes. So nice old case that. There's an early Star Wars poster. I'm told that's special because it doesn't have something in the printing that was added later. So it's an early one, and that is in at 4 to 600. Then flowing around, let's go and see the clocks. We have some rather interesting clocks this time again. A skeleton clock with an unusual escapement. That's lot 399. And then a whole run of bracket clocks, Georgian bracket clocks of varying quality and makers and goings on. So those are all rather good clocks. I like this, a 15th century Florentine statue. There we are, of the Virgin with detachable head, done some time ago. This came from a vendor whose father was Dennis Ward, very notable collector and connoisseur in Lewis, who we sold his collection years ago. Maybe it was 15 years ago, I can't remember how long, but many years ago we sold it, and that's the sort of item left over from it. More contemporary, we have some of these nice Art Deco sculptures. Let's move those around a bit. The greyhound, the seagull, we stuck him on the front cover just because he looked rather striking, I thought. The Boule pair, lot 129, in at £200 to £300 only. There's some nice caskets, this iron bound example with the ivory inside, and then this Ottoman example in tortoiseshell and mother of pearl, rather splendid and needs some careful restoration. Down the line, portraits and oak furniture. So a few nice early pieces of oak. Let's have a look. Some stalls, they're rather good. This early Italian walnut chest, lot 441. Fair number of inquiries about that. It's in modestly at 5 to 800, probably make a bit more. The portraits are always asked about, and there's a number of those of varying condition and quality. In the main room, boys have set it out beautifully again. We have a Bluthner piano. We have a lovely little coffer there. That's a dinky thing, isn't it? That's really sweet. I like that. The plate bucket's good as well. There's a marvellous pagoda is going to be coming up for sale. That's not in the sale room. It's about 10 foot high, made of granite or something. So you have to go and view that in the property if you're interested in that one. And then elsewhere, just a good mixture of furniture, sort of running round Where should we run round from? Let's go from here. So this sort of aesthetic piece, Victorian, lurking behind it, lovely quality Edwardian satinwood display cabinet, probably sort of 1910 to 20 in fact. That's 471. It's in at 1,500 to 2,000. I think it ought to make a bit more than that. We'll see how it goes. Some ormolu mounted fancy furniture. This lovely Georgian collector's cabinet in yew wood. A rather good thing that. Conversely, there's this sort of Art Deco dressing table fitted with the little silver bottles and jars and things. Dinky little thing, isn't it? That's 477 in at 5 to 700. Over the back, some Tibetan tankards. These come from a local charity who amassed them over the years, including works relating to the Dalai Lama. Have a look in the catalogue or online if you're interested. This rather striking dolphin table came out of a property in Kemp Town, and it's not antique, but it's highly decorative, isn't it? 456, 5 to 800 the estimate. Then, running down the line, nice walnut chest there, good example, nice proportions, lovely pair of bronzes on it. A spittoon as well, should you require one. And more cabinets, another walnut bookcase. The Georgian bookcase down the end there, the Secretariat bookcase, that's rather nice and original. The handles are later, unfortunately, but the rest of it bang on. These chairs, a lot of interest in these chairs. Why, you say? Well, I don't entirely know. They're Irish, and they're a good strong model. They're interesting that they've been faced with red walnut veneer, but the backs are actually oak. All of this is oak. And I think, they're Victorian in the Georgian manner. So we'll see how they get on. I think perhaps people are hoping they're older than they actually are. Service catches my eye. What do I know about this? Nothing. It says it's England, and made in England by Adelaide. How interesting. It's striking, isn't it? One would have thought that was a lot older. That's got 144. It's a Worcester service, so it was made for Adelaide. I see. Got 144 and £1,000. Very decorative. This sort of shape points to it being sort of 1820, 1830, I suppose. For your dining room, the serving table, pillars, and knife boxes on top. Good striking thing. Again, late Victorian, Edwardian. Those lift up. There you go. Keep your knives in there somewhere, or spoons and forks. It's good that, isn't it? Great fun. Mulberry clock in the corner. Let's see too many Mulberry case clocks. 409, 3 to 5,000. Very nice, clean, restored condition. So, lovely runner there, isn't it? Look at that. Marvellous. Anyway, paintings. I've been busy with the paintings as always, and all the valuers contribute. Things coming together. We've been cataloguing, hanging, and condition reporting those, and there's a whole mixture as ever, from the old master type right through to the contemporary. If I had to pick out something, what would be most interested in? Well, Harold Mockford, always popular, local painter. This is Sacred Mount, Berwick, lot 693, last lot of the picture section, in at 1,500 to 2,000, but that's going to be very popular. There'll be a lot of determined lady bidders at the back of the room come the day, I can predict. For more money, we have 3 rather remarkable works. This is a Picasso. It's an original Picasso drawing onto the frontispiece of a book with a presentation inscription from him. There's his signature and date, and he's drawn the little fawn. That's in at 15 to 20,000, fully authenticated. And otherwise, this is quite interesting. This is Lucy Velour, and she's the wife of a Trillo. So the wife painted everything here except for this bit, and that is an Atrillo. This is Mr. Atrillo himself. She's painting her husband, painting a picture, and he's painted this part of the picture. So it's sort of a curious combination of factors. We put it in at 20 to 30,000 pounds. It's been authenticated, and the Atrillo man has said, yes, this is Atrillo, and he's written all the fancy forms and what have you about it. So that's quite a curious thing. We won't see too many of those in Lewis. This desk, now, we could have started with James Bond music, really. This is Bodil Kaya, the sort of architect design, and it was called a working table rather than a desk. Originally designed from memory for the Chicago Institute of Arts in a slightly different material, and then produced in limited numbers in rosewood. Where this stands out, this desk appears in A Clockwork Orange, I believe. It definitely appears in 3 early James Bond films, and more recently in one of the Kingsman films. And it's just so striking and so minimal that it's one of the most desirable modern desks there is. We've got it comes from a deceased estate, in at a modest 2,000 to 3,000, sort of various patchy damages and things, but it's going to restore well. I'm hoping it'll make about 10,000, but we'll see how it goes. Then, well, what else? Howard and Sons, always popular. Armchairs, stamped. You know, you've got to have the stamping on them. And here we go. Sons, in you come. There is the stamp saying Howard and Sons of London. So they'll prove popular. They're in at 2,000 to 3,000, ready to be upholstered. Nice, clean condition. I mentioned trunks earlier. 3 Vuitton, early Vuitton trunks are in sale. Perhaps this is the most desirable of them, even though it's the smallest. Nice small size. And this is the this tan orangey fabric is the early, before the LV fabric was designed and invented. So that's a really nice early trunk. They're in at sensible money. They're about £1,000 each. 1, 2, 3, but they're going to go very well. We have some Art Deco furniture. Lovely condition. This cloud back suite. The chairs are on their own. The table goes with the cabinet. Perhaps the cabinet's the least lovely of the 3, but this table and chairs, very popular. Nearly £3,000 spent quite recently restoring them. Mint, ready to go condition, untouched leather, lovely, there we go. Over the back, other lovely things. Well, Christine here, ready to show the jewellery. Have you looked at the jewellery yet, Chris? Yeah, good, is it nice?
Yeah, nice.
We have some nice jewellery in here. Roger's been busy. Micro mosaic, some lovely little micro mosaic pieces here. The Colosseum under moonlight at the back there, lot 802. We have amber, we've always got some amber. We've got funky gold bracelets and things. And then diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, so they tell me. And we have a selection for the girls to look at, ranging from sort of 3,000 to 5,000 in the corner there, up to 20,000 to 30,000 or so for that huge great stone there. And then there are other pieces as well. There's some nice brooches and bracelets and other rings and what have you. So I'm dragging on a bit here, but there's so much to see and look at. All the silver's through that way. Roger's been busy getting that together. So we've got a nice silver counter. We've got a whole load of watercolours and other pictures. We've got Brangwyn works of art there. We've got Roger Mead at the back, ready to answer your silver inquiries. His daughter Lottie's here. She's specially done her hair for the occasion. And then going this way, Russian paintings. We have this Lechevsky, who seems to be very popular at the moment, coming up in money. Lovely Terrick Williams there. Douane Brittany, nice little all that should go well. Further down the line, some more exotic Asian artists, of which I must admit I don't know too much about. And then we run through to the more contemporary works, back to where we started really. So a whole host of things for you to see. Come along and see us. We're on view today, Friday that is, right the way through till 5 o'clock. Saturday we'll be here till 1. Sunday I'll be here, 10 till 1. And then Monday again, on view for the main sale. Weekly sale kicks off Monday. Main sale kicks off Tuesday at 9:30. There's a lot to get through. So we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.